I actually I sort of forgot to prepare for this game. Like uh, I I have like Friday and over the board game where I tried to prepare a bit, but I couldn't really find anything. And sort of then I forgot that I also had this game. Like in my mind, it was like that. I couldn't really do any prep. But then I remembered like a little bit before the game, and so yeah, uh, we didn't do that much, but we are going into my main line. Like my opponent, the more logical preparation would have been bishop c4 here, although I still have like equal amount of games in bishop g5 and maybe also more classical. But yeah, I basically switched away of this. But yeah, I wasn't really happy what I got. And I didn't have time to prepare in depth the lines with bishop c4. Let me think. And yeah, my score is also for the moment still very bad in that. Like, it's not yet in the stage that I want to switch back necessarily, but yeah, it's over 8 games. I have like 1 out of 8. So it's at least probably telling that I, for the moment, don't understand the positions that great yet. Even like then the line my opponent plays against it, I had even 0 out of 3. So, and yeah, against this bishop g5, my score was actually quite good. The reason I switched away was mainly because, like, it's quite common to have lines where you take and you get this structure. And that structure, I feel I don't really understand that well yet. And it also gets very deep theoretical lines. So yeah. But yeah, but I decided then to just have a quick look at this. And my opponent, this is still like a complete prep of me. And yeah, this feels like a place. Yeah, I'm happy to play this position. I feel I understand these positions way better. Yeah. Okay. Now I need to. I think. So the question is, do I want here h4 or knight e2? Already stepping out of b4. Looks like they were not surprised. I have like, I think I had a game with king b1. My main line actually was f4 instead of king b1, but yeah, I had them both in my study, and I think I have played them both. So yeah, often h4 is like a move, like to, of course, start the attack against the king, but also to defend this bishop for the moment. because there are like tactics with the knight jumping and what was I saying? And that the bishop then is undefended. But I don't think like after 92 that's not directly working. There is of course, yeah, since there's, yeah, the problem is that the queen is hanging. Yeah, no, I don't think. For the moment that's not at all working. But the bishop e7 could threaten that. But then I at least have a move. So knight d4 is a possible follow-up, which will be with tempo against his bishop. I think. Also, yeah, I need to, of course, a logical follow-up would be d5. But yeah, here they still also need to like e5 and then, yeah, that should be good for me. I think this is surely good. Need to also, yeah, there was some visits, so I have not the time to prepare for the stream. So I also haven't gotten my water yet, so we'll need to do that at some point. Could be that this is premature, this 92. But yeah, it feels also like now the real, like this is their main play, right? Now I always can like, this is another like coming with tempo. So I have always like rook c1 possibilities, 94. So bishop e7 I think is for sure a top candidate move. And then h4 is probably gonna be my reply. Of course, I'm always happy to see h6 and I just happily drop my bishop back. That is a weakness. h5 is also sometimes an idea, but then this bishop is very stable here. Also sometimes, yeah, h5 will be the reply against g4. And I feel I don't have like the best feeling for that yet. Like when I understand the ideas of h5, but it feels like that it sometimes is a little bit on a limb. And I think these h5 ideas were often more when black had still like the option to castle long, I think. I guess, okay, they go for bishop e7. I think, yeah, now this like 94 tricks are in the position. I think, let's say, for example, yeah, I'm not sure what would be a natural move here, but yeah, g4 I guess is a natural move. And then 94 probably It's just very strong. Also, yeah, that's the downside of my king b1. Now 92 will be with a check. So yeah, I then need to take, and then this bishop is hanging. And also bishop e, yeah, it's both the bishop is hanging and bishop e4 is attacks c2. But this h4 should stop these ideas. Now the bishop is never hanging. And after, yeah, I probably have 94 IDs. Although I guess, okay, this makes some sense. Stepping out of the 94 tempo, opening up the hook. So what do I do here? Like, need to make sure that g4 could be wrong. Like, there were some lines where it was with knight g3, but I had the knight e5 follow-ups. That's here not the case yet. Knight e4. If they play e5, now I have knight f5. Yeah, g6, of course, always. I have just very classical h5 IDs. Are they preparing d5 here? So d5. I guess they are sort of preparing d5. Maybe I need to do something about that. And 94. I guess. No. Maybe my 92 was premature. The rook c1 is an option here, but that feels kind of passive. 94. Let's say they do like this tactic, right? Then e5. E5. No, yeah. So the question, yeah, can I play g4 or not? Or is this a problem? Take. Bishop takes. They, or they could, yeah, take. I know. Yeah, if I do 94 now after this, now there's no, the rook is not hanging, so then I can just play bishop d3. So then it's not threatening. But yeah, after 94 they have d5, of course. Ugh. Then I have like e5. And they probably play like knight here. I sort of then, I guess I then have possibly like the blockade. Okay. Although, I guess that's probably that structure should be good for me. With the pawn on e4, blockading knight on d4. Which they really can challenge. The bishop is better than, and I can put my bishop on d3. Looking at their king. Of yeah, where their king probably goes. Okay. I think this still makes sense. And I keep like their bishop is blunted by my that's a different with like lines where you play with f4. Now this bishop often comes alive with d5, but now that's way less the case. I also even have like lines where I take, okay, the bishop gets to a decent square, but there's not like that much pressure here. So yeah, how is this different with like typical? Sounds, yeah, I knew, but yeah, it could be that I already like misplaced it somewhere. But like the early b5 is usually not played. Yeah, maybe it's exactly because of that, because I nicely can remove like it's maybe this b5 is more. Usually, yeah, you have the other knight still on d4, so this knight really can't maneuver to d4 because they're sitting another piece. So then this b5 b4 maybe comes with more punch. But I'm not sure about that. And yeah, of course, also yeah, so the knight on the black knight often gets to like the c4 square, which is of course a very nice square. But that's, yeah, I guess this knight can still get there, but so if they castle, of course I play g4. I think that's basically a no-brainer. I don't think the tactics with knight g4 are then working at all. Okay, h6, very committal. Since you're now g4, g5 comes with an even bigger punch. I think bishop e3 is a very natural response. Bishop f4 could be a natural response, yeah. But yeah, e5 in this case is most likely a problem. It could be that there's still like, I still get knight f5 in that position, but I don't think it's enough. And yeah, the bishop here is still nicely placed. It fights against queen b6 IDs. Of course, there are still queen c7 IDs, but for the moment they are not doing that much. Also, with the queen on c7, now, like this pressure on c2 is with less punch, since now my queen can just defend it. Well, let's say if the bishop and the rook are attacking, that my queen can't defend. Yeah, this h6 feels wrong. It could, it's for sure in some cases could prepare with bishop d3. Queen c7, okay. Like, what's the big idea of that move? Like, they can, after g4, these sacrifices are for sure in, like, in the position. Yeah, they can take on both, it's the same. But I think I just have like rook h2, stepping out of the attack, and I have 3 defenders of c2. They can remove one with e5. But yeah, I just jump into f5, and I still have 2 defenders, and I don't think they can remove a second one. And yeah, and I very easily can get this bishop as an extra defender. Need to make sure that I guess they are preparing d5 here. That's something. Yes. So, do I need to do something about that? Like g4, d5. Since yeah, I don't really have, I might have no e5 anymore, which is not 100% certain, because there are some tricks in the position. Like after, so after let's say g4, d5, I might still have e5, because after queen takes, bishop f4, The queen is very short on squares. Actually, I think it's without squares. Which, yeah, this is a typical idea. Uh, uh, and that looks actually just very strong for me. Might be that is their idea, but it doesn't work, I think. So this, and if they, let's say if they need to go back, and now I play f4, and I have like pawns on e5, f4, g4, h4, like I'm so fast in my attack. Mm, uh, and yeah, my knight is on the perfect blockading square also in that line. They have then, yeah, maybe bishop c5 trying to move. But it all feels so slow of them. So which other idea could I have after g4? Since yeah, for example, like castling looks completely suicidal, I just play g5 and that's basically it. I'm a little bit worried as I'm blundering something tactical, but for now I don't see it. I could sacrifice with the bishop instead. Then they get a tempo against my queen. But I get a tempo back by attacking their knight. They could also like sacrifice a bishop and take on g4 with the knight, getting a tempo on my bishop, but then I play rook g1, taking the g file. Yeah, that could be okay. Let's slow down a second. So g4, bishop takes, pawn takes, knight g4. Let's say rook g1. Like maybe I do some. Oh, maybe rook g1 is not a move actually. Though yeah, it feels also right to do, but maybe instead like something like bishop d3. Yeah, probably that could be a better move to make sure that c2 is very safe, since in the other line there was some stuff like taking, and then e5, and now my c2 is hanging. Also bishop d3 in that line that connects my hooks, which after my hooks are connected, now taking on c2 is a lot less scary. It's for one way more difficult to take on c2, but it's also then just one check, and you go to e1, and even often I can then counter attack on the c file. For sure, after they have like sacrificed the piece. I'm not really seeing it. Thanks for the follow, Regi Plus. Not sure. if you are from Slack of... Oh, twitching. Ouch. Is that my teammate? I guess so. Um, do not follows. Feel free to talk about the game in chat. I can't see that. I can just see the activity feed. Or just watch and enjoy, I guess. Hope you have a great evening. Oh, yeah, at least for me it's evening. For the people in their markets, I guess it's afternoon. And for the people in Asia, it's night. I don't have like I think I don't know if I can watch it on Twitch. I think I can do, but it's been some time I checked that. Like it's usually like a mix of like European and American, very little Asian usually. So yeah, I'm not sure. Do I think it's mostly the time slot thing. Could be also something personal, but uh, nah, maybe I should have. I was thinking about naming the stream something with like exciting opposite cards, since I knew it was like I guess I think I estimated the chance that we got like some position like this, like 70% or something like that. But yeah, couldn't be sure, of course, and otherwise this would have been so silly. Uh, since yeah, they played like some one-off, all kind, some like I found one classical game with e5, I think, and a couple other stuff things. But this was by far the main portion. Also, quite amazingly, they have like 10 games in this position with g5. Like the first time ever, I think I've seen that. Don't think I have ever faced it. That's even a name. But yeah, it's I'm not sure. Is it like the single worst possible move? Like a position after move one? Can you do something worse? I guess after d4 it's maybe worse. After one d4. Yeah, maybe that's d5 still, but after one d4. Of course, after one e4 b5 is probably also very well. But yeah, I feel like there at least you can like get some temples. It's for sure bad, but no, I guess after e4, b5, bishop b5, there's bishop b7, and you can do some stuff. Maybe it's even on pass actually to take it. I'm not sure, but that's not relevant right now. Yeah. I think I never played any of these like crazy moves on. The only thing I did a little bit is like one a3. But yeah, I try to do it like in a very deep way, where I try to get all kind of reverse positions a tempo up, but it was way too complex. And it also like, didn't really work. It's often like you have an extra move, but you don't really have. Yeah, you have the equalizing move there, then that's why, but yeah, you don't really want that. So you, yeah. But back to the game. Okay. Sensible move for sure. Already preemptively stepping out of that. So bishop d3 is for sure an option. To then, yeah, I mainly prepare g5. I think, since, yeah, I never am like really that afraid of them like playing knight c5 or knight e5 and taking that bishop. I often can just recapture now fully limiting this bishop. Now I don't really even need to react to d5 anymore in case I do that. And I often can fight for the c file then. Yeah, and after bishop d3, like knight e5, sometimes this pawn, but yeah, it's not hanging for the moment, so. So I guess let's check like the main candidate moves. Like of course always d5. I guess d5, since now my e5 trick isn't working anymore. But I guess I just have g5 then. And I'm just breaking through. Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, there's always also the idea of sacrificing on b5. But don't think it's that great here. It's actually not completely crazy. But yeah, I think just I win like 3 points for the piece, but we get into an end game. Like I get like 3 connected passes, so maybe it's actually good for me. But I feel uh, not knowing it. I'm almost like almost trapping the queen. It's kind of funny. After like so, take. I think the queen needs to go here in that line. Then I have even bishop here with the king, queen. Then if I would have knight c7, but I don't have. Oh, but then if I then take on d6, they take. They can then take my bishop, but I take here a check. And I guess the other option is queen d8. Oh no, I'm hallucinating. No. So after queen c6, I have knight a7. This is like the responsible way is bishop d3. But then, yeah, d5, and I'm not maybe d5, g5. They maybe just ignore me. Can then take on h6, so I'll win a pawn there. But yeah, not then I'm left with this e4 pawn, giving them a nice square for the knight. Maybe some chances to stabilize there. Of course, like you could say I'm just opening lines towards their king, towards my king with bishop b5, and that would be a very reasonable thing to say. I guess I missed. Maybe they have queen c4. Yes, I missed that. Although still taking. And the knight is still hanging. Yeah, no. Let's yeah. These sacrificing without like a clear end. That's not at all my strong suit. Okay, let's maybe at least first try to evaluate this a little bit better. Also, after like the capture here, the question then, how do I want to recapture? Do I maybe just want to take with a bishop? Or actually even after that capture? Oh wow! That's actually cool. Maybe after like d5? After they capture, then I capture on b5, since now like the knight is hanging. So and then the only way how to defend the knight is then this. Of course, yeah. I then so then I have at least the so what's then the a rook and like 2 pawns for the for 2 pieces. And yeah, I'm still like, I also have g5 in that line. And the king is like in the center. So I'm then opening up like the on two sides. Or even like, could be that's think there is potentially that's like a way to down the game. Like the I guess I maybe missed this. They have queen d8. But then yeah, so if I then take no, then I just yeah. Then I'm just down this pawn. And they can then even capture even this pawn too. But yeah, also I know there's no pawn there to capture on that line. What I'm saying. So queen is on the 8. But yeah, then I maybe just capture here. Oh, interesting line. I think I go for bishop d3. I still can decide later. I used too much time already. I'm not playing practically with time. I've been like I've been playing way too much bullet lately. They never play bullet, so their blitz is lower than mine. So I only really consider d5. But yeah, it feels also what otherwise do they do? But after d5 I could also just take and play g5. Guess then they might have e5, but then the bishop is loose. Or after the I must that might be better. After like d5, and so I need to wait for them to take. Can then take here and take here. I guess they have bishop c6. Yeah, it's not that I'm breaking through. No, that line looks like it doesn't work. Yeah, I feel I'm more leaning towards letting them take here. And then, yeah, this this square is a little bit weak, but I already have done g5 in at that point. Guess it's okay. Let's once more. Let's calculate the line concretely. So here, at that point, I have like knight here with knight c4 IDs. But also, yeah, that knight is then, because I played d5, that knight is no longer stable here anymore. Guess I have bishop f4 IDs. Although there is a problem that knight here, this is with a check. So it could be that it's only trades. Okay. Another round of concrete calculation. This, 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 this. Yeah, this 94. Maybe after 95 I actually take a tempo for b3. It's a little bit crazy. But I am already like, I guess sort of, although g5 they actually have h5, so it's not that I'm like breaking through that hard. Okay, but I think yeah, now g5. After this capture, probably I capture with a pawn. And after knight c4, I snap take of that knight. Yes. That all looks completely fine to me. Yeah, and if I can, like some cases, getting in g6, of course, like only after this knight is gone, but if this knight stays here, I can like kick it with f4. And then after g6, by eliminating here, being able to grab on g6 should be very good for me. Yeah, in general, I'm just the first to breaking open. I guess if they can get in both h5 and g6, they sort of could keep it closed, but I will not allow that. If they play after, so if they play g5, h5, I think I'm gonna play f4. I guess then they can take and play g6. And that's a little bit annoying, but I guess then I play f5. And that should be. And then they play e5. And then I need to calculate. Okay, that's a very concrete line. So g5, h5, f4, take. I think I take like this. So now I sometimes have rook c1. Then they play g6, since they don't want to allow me to play g6. I play f5. They play e5. I at least I have f6 options there. Yeah, f6 is there. Extremely strong. Although they take here with they keep taking stuff. So it's not that clear. Ah, no, I moved. So in the line after f5. Might be that just probably taking here should be good, but it's not super easy. Since taking here, so in that line now this diagonal is open, so that will be at the tempo on the rook. Yeah, it feels like their queen side is completely collapsing there. But yeah, there will be some very concrete calculation in that line. Take. Since there's also the option of taking here, inducing the king on this square, and this file will be open then. Yeah, I will start with this. I still can decide here what I do. Also after, I guess after in the line after e5, I can just move my knight. It's not like they sort of could win then a pawn there, but that pawn for sure should be bad. Although, I guess in that line, I need to consider in some of the lines I was I'm calculating this rook will be hanging at the end. Yeah, at some point I will need to do a concrete calculation. Hmm. Actually, this is also a move now again. So this. I'm not sure if then in that line my inclusion of h5, g5 is good, but yeah, I did, like I considered it on so many moments, but not on this exact moment. But yeah, I guess now they have something like queen d7. That's what. No, I don't see it. So f4, take, g6. I have rook c1, taking control of the open file. Or maybe this is a moment to sacrifice. No, I guess with a pawn on e5. Okay, so f4, take, g6, f5. And this for one, so this line, where I need to sack the rook on h1. Yeah, but I think if I can open up the f-file, that's always good for me, I imagine. I don't think they ever can like keep that pawn. So f4, take, g6, f5. Now these lines where if they capture, now I just play rook f1. I guess like g6 is anyway not really stopping f5. I can also just prepare it with rook f1. Yeah, no. Looks all very strong actually. So if they go knight g4, I think now I play g6, undermining this. Yeah, opening up the G file. They can then take this bishop, which is a good bishop, but it will have opened up their position. I guess they get back bishop f6. Yeah, and if they don't if they allow me to play g6, they, of course, I don't think they like ever can take, but yeah, if I are allowed, now this pawn is always like hanging, or they need to keep the hook on h8, but that's obviously very bad. And like for the moment, I'm sort of playing upper hook, right? Like all my pieces are playing, and their hook on h8 is not playing, and the only way how to get the rook to play is to castle into the attack. So it for sure feels that I should be winning this position, but yeah, the question is, there will be one moment where I need to calculate concrete variations. And that's okay. Let's keep focused. There's something to be said to get another coffee, but it's also that it will be probably better for this game, but it will be, of course, worse for my well, speaking is already difficult. For my rest, it's not exactly what I meant, but yeah. Yeah. Haven't slept that well last couple of days, so my energy is for sure not the highest ever. What are options here? I think knight g6 probably just runs into f5. Yeah, that can't be a thing. Then I'm just blasting open the position. Okay, this was of course an option, but it feels wrong. I guess, yeah. I missed one detail, that this pawn is kinda hanging. Okay. So queen takes or pawn takes. Don't really have comfortable way to how to defend it. Yeah, that's something I missed. But yeah, I'm also sure there should be good moves in that position, but so yeah, don't like both. Yeah, I think with the queen probably they want to at least keep pressure here. In some lines maybe the queen is doing some stuff. Yeah, also they could sometimes like take here and go back. So I'm thinking more they take with the queen. It's not that they like they could switch like to the b file, but that's so slow, so they don't have time for that. I guess yeah, taking with the b pawn, they could follow it up with c3. That's an option. But yeah, anyway, I'm most likely gonna take. I guess I could also just move the queen. It's not that crazy. For sure, if I like have a good candidate move where to move the queen. But yeah, this feels like more forcing and I'm on time, so let's say here. So let's say they take, right? I take here and something like this. So I'm down a pawn then. Yeah. So I don't see the direct like a killer follow-up. Oh wow, I see now a follow-up, which is actually take. Let's say queen take. Ah no, the queen is no longer. When the queen is here, then there's the idea of like taking here, sacrificing the rook, and then this is a forking square. But that's not so g6. Yeah, I meant taking with the queen, but so take here. Problem is that there is like some bishop f6. Feel that there should be some win there, but okay, let's consider. But yeah, it loses so much time to move the queen, then need to recapture here. Ugh. Take. G6. Take here. Yeah, also, since in that position, since the queen is here, now they could sort of close it up with f6, so probably I need to take directly. And because the bishop is here, I also don't have queen g2. Like somehow all the pieces are on the squares to defend stuff, which feels unfair. Can like do this and queen here. But yeah, that feels a bailout. Hmm. I guess I can take and play queen g2. Uh, then again, there's this g6, which is annoying. Rook e1 is also an option, assuming there's like some... It's not... I don't see the tactic directly, but... So take... I know, the queen. It feels like there should be something here. Yeah. That's... Oh no, oof. Very lucky that I have move confirmation on. That would have been like a very unfortunate blunder. Take. Like... Feel the line with g6 should be good for me, but I really don't see it either. How to make it work. Maybe I do that and then just rook e1 and then... Yeah, that looks good. Or just g6. Though, yeah, moving the rook. Also not this pawn is also hanging. And after rook e1, that will be with tempo. I would hate myself so hard if I played queen d3 here. But yeah, I really can't find how to make it work otherwise. I don't see it. Could it be e5? But yeah, it's not even like, even if I give a check here, it's not mate or anything. Thanks, winds of shoe 7-7 for the follow. Also, while yeah, it feels wrong to go here for the queen trade, like with my time situation, it might be the practical thing. Maybe like I can maybe still get some attacking ideas in the end game. Not sure about that, but like if they trade queens, now the bishop is again blunted. I have hooks. Yeah, I can challenge the c file, of course. I can go for rook f1, f5. And if they need to reply to f5 with e5, now my knight will try to get to this square, which might be not actually too long, since yeah, I created the c2 square for my knight, so then it's not that long a route. Also, actually, yeah, no, I guess yeah, they likely will play g6. Yeah, with g6 also, like my bishop potentially getting to this diagonal. Okay, they play g6. So now I think rook f1, and then f5 next move. Yeah, probably this was the right way how to do it. Not my way is like I feel at some point maybe I had something more even. Maybe it's somewhere sacrificed worked. Maybe like the ones on b5 or maybe yeah. My opponent is of course a good player, so could be that they also just didn't make. Yeah, like it feels like it can be like best play that they played, but that they didn't at least blunder something losing. Now imagine that the engine just says, yeah, you are worse all the time. Like, for me, still, like, I haven't been like an e4 player from the start. Like, I was a d4 player, so this is not like still not supernatural and all. Like the feeling when it is time to sacrifice a piece. Of course, I understand like you need to go for the attack and stuff, but like giving a pawn and all, that's okay, but yeah, sacrificing pieces, still less. Yeah, but yeah, f5 here. I don't think they can really stop it. I guess they can play f5 themselves, but then maybe I trade queen with myself and I take on e6. I assume that is good. Like, okay, they went on e4 back, but yeah, I don't believe in that. It would leave them with such a weaker pawn structure. Just need to then add something like so. Of course, it's such a crazy move. Not at all expect them to make that move, but could even then. The question is, do I first take on en passant or not? Probably not, since yeah, then always the problem when this pawn is gone, always this pawn is also hanging. And when they can get this, now this rook out of nowhere makes sense if they can take on h4. Since yeah, they can just keep it there and start pushing this pawn. Even maybe sometimes going to h7. Going super passive, but like saying, yeah, you always need to look out for this pawn. So because of that, yeah. Okay, e5. Yeah, that's of course very concrete that I'm gonna take here. Didn't fully appreciate this enough. So I can do take. That's points like sacrifices here. Oh no, the problem is always the queen, of course. Ah, damn it. The queen is shooting back at that square. Yeah, maybe I messed up here. Since, yeah. Now this pawn is gonna fall. Yeah, the thing is, you can sometimes think about sacrificing this because then the bishop will hit the rook. But I need to do it on the right way. Also, I actually have this. Now I see. This is also hanging. So, yeah, whichever way they take here, I have this check. Although, is it somehow not doing anything, which feels completely illegal. Bishop takes there. No, it's doing something. Just a question, does it enough? Think I trade once. I want the D file open. Okay. So I have like crazy knight f5 IDs. Not that crazy. Since if they take, have here. Here. No, it's not working, I think, but it's not super far off working. I think knight f3. So yeah, if they trade queens, then I always still have this. Then e5 obviously hanging. And yeah, this check is sort of hanging. Yeah, I guess, yeah, the check is now hanging. So, but yeah, I think, yeah, this is a concrete variation. And here, bishop. Well, yeah. I sort of missed from afar. I was, yeah, considering what do I need to do after this, but yeah, 95 is with tempo on the queen, so that's really nice. So maybe they need to trade queens here, but now yeah, then there's bishop d6. Oh, that's Is there a line where I take with the rook? No, I don't think so. So let's pre-move this. Although when they trade queens, now time situation is way less a factor. If they keep queens on the board, then time situation is for sure here a factor in this position. Like here. But at least, yeah, in a lot of lines, most lines will have a direct move here. Like, or I taking on e5, or I'm giving a check. Like, don't think there's like a move where they can stop all these things. Also, yeah, big plus of my position is that there's nothing. I guess my bishop is semi-loose, but it is also really impossible to get attacked, so it's not really relevant. Because, yeah, like after this straight, I will take with the pawn, so you could say then my bishop is already loose, but also, irrelevant. There, bishop being loose is way more. Although yeah, I guess, yeah, no, it's in some cases relevant. Yes, like this is a concrete line, and but the thing is that I now have castling. I guess I can maybe, I can for sure have the option there to trade queens. That might actually be good. Since then I just trade all the rooks off. Since then I just attack this pawn. And they really can't defend it. You know, I have the option to instead attack my d3 pawn, which is my weakness. But at least, yeah, like my knight one for one can defend it, and also whenever it takes on e5, so yeah, it's risky for them to like give up the c file, which is for sure a useful file for attacking the d pawn, which yeah, I can have a lot of pieces that conveniently can defend it. And the other way how to attack it is would be for a5 and bishop a6, but that feels very slow. Okay, the castle. That's a legal move, of course. Which I saw enough. But this is not just a blunder. Like, take. Doesn't matter which of the two they take, the rook or the bishop, and I do this. And that's a double attack. Like, they can gain one or two pawns, but shouldn't be enough, I think. I don't see it. Rook takes. After the rook, they can take here. Then I move my bishop. And nothing has changed. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay. Yeah. This I saw, but so yeah, they get like 2 pawns. Need to like a little bit for my back rank, but not really even. Yeah, I think they for sure blunder something. There's like here also the time situation should be a non-factor. Yeah, it's a factor, but at least on a lot of moves I should be able to make reasonably quick moves. Of course, whichever of the rook takes, probably can take this pawn. Don't think they have. No. That would be bad. Then they have this covered. Like, maybe my position isn't okay. So they go for that. Yeah, I sort of maybe they missed that in the end my bishop is defending here. Or I am missing here something. Like they have no hook here IDs. Or so take, then here. Yeah, it's like some lines are pretty close, but I think it's fine for me. But it's for sure possible that they missed something, that I saw this line and missed something here in the end. I can't say I had calculated out. It was more on like feeling. That's and for example, I had seen like this, but yeah, I for sure can say that. And I'm like, there is like a small thing in me that says maybe you must miss something. But yeah, since yeah, there's like this. Okay, here. So I think I need here bishop c1, and after take here I have rook b1, and let's say after something like rook c8 I still have rook c3. And if they do something like b4, you know, then I have just the other rook defending. So there's still like not like fully certain yet that I didn't blunder anything. At least I think, yeah, even if I blunder something, then I should at least be able to like give the piece back for 2 pawns. But yeah, I think rook c8 here might be a tricky move. And I need to like move the knight, let's say 95, and then rook here. So then the bishop can move. I think I'm fine. I think I can stabilize. Maybe some way to push the pawn, but that's a tempo. That's big. Something like rook g1. No, or yeah, rook g1. Knight g1, then rook c2, and then yeah, maybe even taking here. They then go something like this. Can move my bishop again. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, this is like the tricky spot where you need to keep in focus. Like they have, assuming I'm winning here, they have like a lot of different like ideas to at least put up a resourceful defense. And even if they, if I, yeah, I guess I like if I can win at least one pawn, then yeah, it's already. Often I will be the one to backcall to mating attack. Like e5 is falling and then f7 is falling. Okay, yeah, that was for sure. Did I calculate this wrong? No, I don't think I did. I think knight here. So it's with the tempo, which is huge, of course. If they go rook, the c7 to c, then I think I play bishop e3. The only thing is like is there some universe where my rook gets out of squares, but I don't think that's the case. I think I have just enough squares. They have they have tricky moves like rook f2. But then, yeah, rook e1, and now my knight is like all my pieces are going back to the back rank, but I have one more of them, and I will get out. Like at some point, I will create a flight square. I will like take on e5. I guess if they now move the bishop, no, they can. But yeah, I can also take on f7. That's also a way how to connect my pieces. Okay. That's so. Doing this one. Okay. That for now keeps Like a3 is a move here, or rook here is a move. Like being able to trade off one of the rooks would be nice. Alright, I guess yeah, I missed that I hang this pawn. That was a little bit silly. So now they have 3 pawns. Do I trade off one rook? I think I do. Actually not super certain about this. Yeah. Yeah, there are some mating nets. So, why are they thinking here? That's a little bit strange. I guess they have king g7, of course. Yeah. But yeah, if they play king g7, then my plan of b3, bishop b2 becomes even more interesting. Yeah. And if they go rook a1, now I can go bishop e3 and it's very solid. And then the rook is doing really nothing there. But yeah, now okay, so I think I go this. Of course they have like h4, h5. Okay. Yeah, that was okay. Let's make sure here. h4. Let's say I attack this pawn. h3. Take. That's just too slow. Well, yeah. And 92, that doesn't work because bishop here. Yeah, yeah, this is still tricky. I was like too relaxed. So bishop b2, h3, I take. Yeah. I'm not even... could be a real problem here. Oh. Yeah, I need to go in full calculation mode here, but I'm just not able to it. I'm way too in like relaxed mode. I'm just not going to get there. So I think they push the F pawn here. Although after F pawn, let's say rook c1. Yeah, I trade probably first, but rook c1. Okay, no, they don't do that. Yes, still like this mating net. So here, we need to go here. Oh no, don't I have the mating net now? How do they avoid the mating net after bishop f6? Did I blunder this? I think they needed to push the f1. Yeah, I think I might have messed it up earlier. Like there is a chance that bishop d5 somehow holds, which would be like ridiculous, but no, I think in that case I can get my rook back. And that's an amazing potential resource. So yeah, of course, yeah, I'm threatening checkmate here, and if they go here, yeah, it's still checkmate, so don't see how they... I guess they have bishop c6, right? Okay. No, so need to... It's not that easy. Oh, wow. Oh, ugh. Damn. Oh, shit. Ah. Yeah, but I feel this is not a move, but yeah, panicked. Yeah. Maybe king b2. Ah, no. They will give the check, of course, to my king. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so annoyed. That I just couldn't manage to get focused. Oh, I think bishop c2. Oh no, that was it. Yeah. And so I was not calculating anything. Is there like a chance here? Since I need to give the rook right. So although I guess the problem is that in this square maybe go here. This is maybe not super clear. Since how do they get out of that, like... Maybe this is a fortress. Yeah, I think it's probably a fortress. I guess, no. Probably they can sort of defend the queen with the queen, this bishop. But yeah, if I can get like my knight to somewhere here. Yeah, that is still super concrete, this position. I even said it like earlier that when they take on h5 now this pawn is, and it was not... I couldn't get myself focused. I was like, the game is over. I knew it was tricky, but yeah, it's a problem. I have had this problem in the past. I just didn't care about the game. Not sure why. I guess maybe it's because I didn't sleep that well the last couple days. Could be the reason. Like, if they go... Yeah, I assume any positions where they... try to... where just when they win the knight against the pawn, that, well, they are... Yeah, they might be technically better, but the king is so stuck that I should be able to hold. So, yeah, I think there's a very real chance I can still hold the door over here. But yeah, I was obviously just winning, so... Yeah. Nothing to do about... Just... Should maybe just have gotten my coffee earlier. That could have made a difference. No, I can't even go to the toilet or... to... Okay. Let's try to find, like, what's the best path for my knight. Okay, they go for this instead. So now I thought this. And I'm just gonna sacrifice that knight for the pawn. Yeah, is that? Yeah, maybe it's a better chance on winning in that, since that other was maybe a very simple fortress. Or maybe even there's even a chance it's just better for me. Like, is there? That's the only way how I can stop this pawn, right? T. Yeah, no. But now I lose quite some time. Maybe can sort of activate my king. Although it's also my king is not. I guess my king can go somewhere here. Try to attack some pawns there. My rook is it's not. But yeah, in this endgame, like I can just cap this pawn after. And I don't think there's like a way how they. I always can just. Sacrifice that knight. If they attack it, I think I just go here. And then they need to attack it directly back. I guess this is a way to force a draw. Like here, here. Oh no! I see, this might not be good. I have this. I think they need to, at this moment, need to take the... I guess it doesn't matter. No. They cannot do something like rook d6, but they maybe are not forced yet to cash in right now. But after rook d6, I think I have here, and after taking here, and I'm back to threatening mates, and the bishop is in the way of the king running out. And I think that's back winning. Is there a way that I could have instead? No, it was too slow to set up the mating net in another way. But yeah, then this might still be tricky, since after this, like if they need to keep the rook here to avoid me getting like back this way for the checkmate. Of course, yeah, like they will, the moment my rook leaves, they will try to run in that direction, but it's not that easy for them. Yeah, and even like, yeah, it could be, I think I'm still better here. Of yeah, I was maybe not in the other line, where they, so if they had sacrificed the rook here, and then promoted, I think that was probably just, yeah, I assume they can just give a perpetual or something. Don't think they were even better in that line, because yeah, this construction on their king is just impenetrable, and yeah, if I get my knight to d6, then it's just winning, but the knight is very far away of that square, so I assume they can somehow then. But yeah, it's maybe my king my king could have like supported my knight towards the d6 square, but it feels very far, like from here to get to the d6 square. Without allowing a perpetual feels very difficult. Yeah, I'm really curious to look that. Could also be something where the engine takes. I'm curious also, like, if the engine quickly can evaluate that. Like, it could be that the knight gets to d6, but it takes a long time. So that the engine first thinks, yeah, black is better, then, oh no, black can make progress, and then even switch to white is winning. That's very possible. That would be very cool. But yeah, would be very undeserved, but yeah. Yeah, I feel even like I'm still better here, and that also feels super undeserved if that's the case. So let's say they promote, and of course take. Oh, a5. Guess that's a move. Feel like maybe a3. Where do I go? Rook d2. Yeah, that's a good move. And I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Nah, that's not good. That was smart practically from them. So, since now I blocked my own square for my king. Also left my pawns a little bit weaker. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely not certain what I'm doing with that. Okay, the cash in. Yeah, and I think the here cannot make progress. Guess I'm gonna get my king a bit up the board, but so this check here, here. I guess they can take here. And after rook d4, they can get back. Yeah. That keeps the rook forced on the... No, let's go here instead. What's that? I think that pawn is... Could be that I'm doing over optimistic stuff here. Of course, at any moment I can just trade rooks and force a draw. Not if they can take a3 successfully, but... Yeah, I think it's hard for me to get in some sort of a second idea. I was thinking, I guess maybe... Get my king like here. The problem is after here, they give a check. No, they can't give a check, of course. Okay, then I maybe can run just towards here. And at least let rook make a concession. But yeah, probably they can just force a draw by moving the bishop, after which I think I probably need to check, and then we can repeat. I think that's probably the cleanest way to do it. Since after, let's say they do this, and then go in this direction. Now after they take, go here, I think now they can start running. They can get out. So this is only a mating mating net as long as the bishop is on e8. But I always think I can force it back to a8. Maybe, but yeah, then at least again it's clear down. Maybe they could try to get like the rook here and then move the bishop out and replace it by the rook. But yeah, any rook trades, it's a super clear draw. So yeah. But here. I guess another idea I have is actually a rook here. But yeah, then I can move the bishop. That's probably not good. That's probably a little bit risky. Yeah, if I can move the rook in a good way to the e-file, maybe at some point that could be an idea. Okay. I guess another option I have is like, can I annoy this bishop? Yeah, if I go here now, the bishop has no longer yeah, it can't shift back, so there's no longer the mating ID. And here, yeah, I think I'm just gonna, let's just repeat moves. Yeah, like, it feels, yeah. Still feel bad about like messing up the win, but at least it, I feel a draw feels fair. Yeah. Like, I don't deserve the win. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah. At least I got another reminder that getting in winning position is only, you still need to keep focused. And it's not even that, yeah, I never thought it was like an easy position. But wow, it's even with pinned comments here. Okay, let me check here what all happened during the game. Hope you had a nice time during. Weren't too like didn't find it a bummer how I was like disappointed in the end. So let's see what people saying. Let's first check on lichess. Are you lost? Did you make a new Twitch? Ouch. I guess you are twitching. Ouch. Are you still here, Enter, or are already taking your nap? Oh, still 11 viewers here. That's nice. Let's see. I again forgot to GG to my opponent. Let's say then here GG is still doing a little post-mortem with little energy left on stream. Yes, sleeping is important. All on my way out to play. Are you playing your 45 game too, or? Or Champions League? So I'm not more important than the Champions League. Oh, okay. Have good practice. So think. Okay, someone is running the engine. I'm fine with that. Like, don't think I have the energy to do. Oh, yeah, I remember A2C4 also as a teammate. Squirrels. Yeah, okay, if the old man is in town, then yeah, you should do this stuff together. But yeah. And not watch my games on phones. That I'm not a... So let's see. Looks like at least the opening I sort of played correctly. Of course, I think, yeah, could be that this was still my prep. I was not sure, but so looks all the way. Oh, okay, so I played great until here. And here, yeah, I considered queen f2, but that felt so slow. But yeah, maybe it's just good. Like they just have nothing. But then yeah, and I guess, yeah, even g6, I just break with f5 or prepare it. Like they can't really stop my break. Their bishop is doing nothing. If I play d5, I might have e5. I guess, yeah, if they can get both g6 and d5. But yeah, it shouldn't work. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, the engine doesn't even take that. Yeah, this looks an amazing attack. Yeah, my bishop on e3 is not that great a piece. So here, yeah, I felt here it's sort of got out of hand. But yeah, I in time pressure played good. And then here, yeah, I thought, yeah, I'm just, although knight x e5. Yeah, why did I play knight g1 here? Like, knight e5 was, like, I think that was my plan all the way. Oh, now I'm even more annoyed with myself. Like, I expertly see, like, yeah, this position I had in my mind, knight a5, like, but yeah, they took, of course, some time, and yeah, yeah. Here it's already not super clear, actually. Yeah, yeah. And ook d8 even, but yeah, here, I should have already started focusing here, but I was still not focused. I think, yeah, around here I started getting focused, but it was already, although I guess I have, like, bishop e3, h4, king b2, like, oh, actually, yeah, now I can give, I guess, but yeah, here I'm for the moment 2 pawns down, but their king is so weak that I should be fine. Win a pawn directly back. Yeah, that's, but yeah, still these pawns, very scary. And again here. Yeah. Yeah, it was... So the engine thinks Rook G1. Ah, Rook G1, yeah, that that stops Knight G3, that's nice. Yeah, Rook G1. I saw this. But yeah, not sure what was my plan here. Yeah, that's nice. And yeah, my knight is too slow to get to the action. Like, it's only barely, I think. Let's say they do, just for illustration. If they do one slow move, am I already fine here? Yeah, I guess the problem here is that my knight is hanging. So they have still Rook B1. Or Rook, yeah, Rook G2.